Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Tell Me More. If you guys aren't familiar with what Tell Me More is everything just girl gossip, anything gossip, advice. Earlier I did a little bit of our love languages. I didn't finish it, but let me know if you guys want me to finish it. I actually made a new email, so I'll put it right here. I'll also put it down in the descriptions. You can send me your stories, something you want advice on, or something you just want to talk about because it's a topic that you're interested in, or you want to hear about my stories and everyone else's stories. I keep you anonymous because I just don't believe that everyone wants to be on the internet. That's not a choice that everyone makes, so I keep everyone anonymous. And a lot of the times I like to choose stories where I want to hear what you guys have to say, because I want to know if you guys have been through the same things, or it's an opportunity for me to share my stories of what I've gone through or what I know, or something I know my friends have gone through. And just the whole purpose of Tell Me More is to feel like you are not alone. That's the whole purpose. So if you guys have stories, or you want advice, or you just want to gossip about something or anything really, you can just send me any type of email you want. Sometimes there's people who don't want me to share it on Tell Me More and they just want a personal email. That's fine too. You can let me know if you don't want it shared on the internet. I respect whatever boundary you put on it, but if you don't give me any type of like, oh, I don't want you to share it on Tell Me More, then I probably will if it's something I see a lot of myself in, or if I know a friend has gone through something and I just have a little bit of something to say. Now, this isn't to say that I know everything. I am not all-knowing, not at all, not even close. I've just been through a lot of my life as well, where I've learned a lot of lessons. So I might have a couple things to say, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. The whole purpose is also to have a conversation with you guys. If you guys have gone through the same, I want to see it in the comments down below. I want to know how you guys dealt with something like this or similar to this, and how you healed from your traumas and how you found self-love. Today we are going to read someone's email. They sent it over to me. I wrote some comments in it. What I'll do is I'll usually rewrite it, because a lot of the times I've noticed there's a lot of spelling errors, or there's a lot of like mistakes. So I rewrite it a little bit just so that it's easier for me to read. So I chose this email because I just felt like I could really see myself in her. I felt like it was literally me, I want to say a year ago? Yeah, a year ago, actually, almost exactly. So I just saw a lot of myself in the email, and I wanted to talk about it because I wanted to hear what you guys have to say as well, if you have dealt with something like this. And I think a lot of people have, so that's why I'm sharing it. Hi Michelle, I just watched your Tell Me More episode about things I don't talk about on the internet, and previously I've also seen the videos with your cousin. I really enjoyed your talk and your guys' insight on relationships and just life in general. To come back to the video I just watched, one part really struck out to me, where you mentioned that time heals everything. I agree. As someone who is going through a heartbreak now, and with a wound that is still relatively new, we separated 2 months ago, I really wonder how long it will take me to heal completely and move on. We weren't in a committed relationship, just a casual dating thing, and had not defined our situation. But when I asked for clarity, he told me he wasn't looking to be in a serious relationship, even though we already had been intimate several times. Not to tell you all the details, but he was the first guy I truly developed feelings for, and he hurt me so much with the things he had said and done. In a way, I sometimes feel like I will never be able to recover, and seriously feel like dying because it hurts so much. The bottom line is, even though he hurt me this much, deep down, I don't think he's a bad guy. I would actually love to keep him in my life. I keep thinking that if I had somehow brought up the conversation earlier, it wouldn't have escalated to this extent, and that maybe I would have been able to resist and just stay friends instead of what happened after. I'm still blaming myself for not knowing what I wanted from the beginning, not speaking my truth, and stupidly catching feelings. Do you think it's possible to stay friends after having been intimate with someone but also hurting badly? Would you allow that to happen? Please let me know your thoughts, Michelle. I've deleted all his socials, but I'm still hanging on to his number and the chat. I just can't find the strength to bite the bullet and delete everything for good. Thanks for taking the time to read this. I'm sending you so much love, and I wish you, your family, and friends the best. Thank you so much. Honestly, it kind of hurts reading like the I love you at the end and thank you so much for reading this, because it's like I know deep down, like, other than you messaging me, it's like I know you're hurting inside. I literally have never felt an email to my core. I am not a love doctor. I don't know everything about love. You guys also know I've been single pretty much my whole life. I haven't had like a serious boyfriend. So trust me when I say I'm not all knowing. But here's the thing. If you are also in the same boat as me where you've just dated around, you've thought you fell in love and like all these things and you've learned a lot of lessons, you know a lot. Just because you haven't been in love with someone, and you might have been too, it could have been a one-sided thing, doesn't mean, you know, obviously being in a relationship with someone is one thing, but growing up and just experience little things here and there, friendships, one-sided loves, things like that, you get to learn a lot of stuff being an outsider from all of that chaos. So last year, 2 years ago, I don't know when it, hold on, let me think about this. I can't think of the year. I don't know why my head can't do the math, but about 2 years ago, I want to say, because it wasn't last year, was it? Oh my God, maybe it was last year. I don't know exactly. Anyways, I ended up going, I was on a dating app. I think I want to say it was OkCupid. I don't remember exactly though. And I met this guy and he was just like, oh my God, perfect. He had a sense of humor. We spoke on the phone almost every other day. We texted every day. He was just everything, like a manly man. He was like my type, like to the T. And then I put it in my head that him and I looked really cute together and it was just going really well. So we had started talking in September. It started slowing down the end of October. November, I bit the bullet and I was like, hey, so what is this? Like, what's going on? What, like, do you see yourself moving forward? Are you even interested? Because let me tell you, guys and girls, some of us, girls and some guys, just do it for fun, you know? And they like they're too selfish to realize to like, let it go or like tell the person they're not interested because they just like having someone there. So I bit the bullet and I said, hey, are you interested? Are you not? Like, you got to tell me. He was like, I only see you as a friend. And I cried. Kim was next to me when I did this and I bawled my eyes out. I was so hurt. I was just so hurt. I had imagined, and I think a lot of the reason why, at least for myself, and let me know if you guys agree, but a lot of the times it's because I let myself take it too far and I start picturing like the life or the love that we could have had, and it's just like, you know, it's just bad. It's just bad. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I thought I could be friends with him. And by December, he told me he was in love with his coworker, and I was so upset. And guess what? I kept him around and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a good friend. I am a good person. I can be friends with him. And that was the worst decision of my life that I've ever made. It was so stupid and selfish of me because it gave him the wrong idea. It sounds like your guy is a good guy for the most part, but you asked, do you think it's possible to stay friends after having been intimate with someone, but also hurting badly? I personally think that after learning my lesson, no. And I actually wrote down specifically what I wanted to say. I don't think that it would be a good idea for your healing process to stay friends with him because your heart will always win the battle. What I mean by that is your brain knows what's best for you. Your brain already knows what to do, but your heart will always choose to do something else. And you'll often find yourself wondering again if a friendly gesture was more, or even end up in bed with him again and looking into it deeper than it really is. I'm assuming when you said you've been intimate, it meant that you have been in bed with him. We all know what that means. I just think it's an overall bad idea. And why I tell you that is because your girl did it. Your girl did it, okay? So December, I find out that he's in love with his coworker, right? And in May, yeah, I kept him in my life for that long, you guys. In May, I ended up being intimate with him, and it was the worst mistake of my life. I think I needed it for my own sanity. I needed to figure out what it was all about. I was used. It's fine. We move on. We learn and we live. I haven't liked someone since him because fuck that. And then after that, I was over it. I was like, oh my God, this is the end. This is whatever. By June or July, he was dating another girl. Not his coworker that he was in love with. He found another girl and he was dating her, and I completely cut him off. I was like, I'm so done. He literally just played games with me, and I let him. That's the thing. I let him. That is not his fault. I mean, we can say it's his fault, but at the end of the day, I'm an adult. I can admit when I was stupid, and so I will openly admit that I was dumb. He told me back in November he wasn't interested. He told me he was in love with his coworker in December, and in May I made the dumb mistake of being lustful, and then he was dating another girl by July. So honestly, I was done. I blocked him. I stopped talking to him. I stopped answering his phone calls. I wasn't texting him. It was just over. I was just so over it. And that's the thing with me. I tend to take things too far. Even though I know I deserve more, or even though I know that I could have dropped it back in November, I always feel like having to prove myself. Like, no. Like, trust me, you like me. Like, I am so good for you, you know? And so I think that's why I stayed for very long. And so when you tell me, like, you're hurting so bad and when will it stop hurting? And that's why I wanted to give you my whole timeline, because some people, when they look at that, they're gonna be like, Michelle, you're so dumb. Like, he gave you a straight up answer back in November and you kept him until July pretty much. And you decided to be intimate with him. That's crazy. That's crazy, because that's a long freaking time. That's November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's 8 to 9 months of me just sitting there hoping that he would figure it out. But here's the thing. If he wanted to be friends with you, if he wanted you around, if he had made a mistake, human beings, people, you even, would have already done it. If he wanted to be friends with you, he would have already reached out and said, hey, want to go do this? Hey, want to do that? If he had wanted to talk to you, he would have reached out to you. Now, I don't know the context of how many times you guys have talked during the separation of 2 months, but I think you need to, I also don't know how long you guys have been in the intimate stage, but I feel like you just need to go do some other stuff. I had to let it go. I had to come to terms with the answer, which is he doesn't like me. If he liked me, he would do something about it, because if I like someone, or if I'm interested in someone, or even if I want to be friends with him like I did for the 9 months, then I would have proved myself, and he still wasn't interested. So it's like, here's the thing. You can do whatever you want. You can go and be friends with him, and you can go and hurt yourself multiple times. Here's the thing. I'm never gonna say you should do this because this is the right thing, and you're stupid if you don't do it. People make mistakes. People do what they gotta do. You gotta do it until you can't do it anymore. So if you're saying, I have to reach out to him, I have to be friends with him, then go and be friends with him. If that is the only way you're gonna learn your lesson, then that's the only way you're gonna learn your lesson. I had to learn that lesson, and it was a hard lesson, and I had to figure it out and tell myself, you know what? You're better than that. He clearly doesn't like you, Michelle. He clearly doesn't like you. Let it go. Let it go. And he, not him, but like the image of him, just him, the idea of him tortured me. I wanted him so badly. You guys have no idea. I was tortured by my own thoughts of just wanting him so much. It literally, I woke up and thought of him, and I went to bed thinking of him. And it didn't help that he was selfishly so absorbed with himself that he wouldn't let me go, even when he knew that I liked him and he didn't like me. At the end of the day, the only thing I have to say is he knows. You asked, he gave you his answer. If his answer has changed, he knows where you stand, and he would have brought it up again. If he hasn't, I just don't think that there's any reason. The normal smart thing to do is say, keep him blocked, no reason to contact him. He knows where you stand. If he wanted things to be different, he'll come and reach back out to you. Okay? But I will say I understand if you do go back to him. But I just don't know what the chances of him changing his mind would be. Your main question was, how long is it gonna take? I don't have an answer for you because I didn't think that it was gonna take 9 months. And pretty much by the time that July hit for me and he was dating someone else, I pretty much just dropped it. I was like, oh, okay, I'm over it. It was like I tried so hard. At the end, I was just like, I can't even cope anymore. The whole 9 months was me coping. I'm done coping. So it was it. I blocked him. I was done. And I was like, okay, moving on with life. Did it destroy me for a very long time? Yes. But I wasn't searching for him. I wasn't looking for him. I wasn't hoping to text him. I just dropped it overall. So it might take months, years, or going out with your friends to bars, some drinks, some random makeouts with a stranger. Be safe about it. COVID is obviously still a thing. Or maybe you need some one-night stands, but time will heal and time will forgive and you'll learn from your mistakes. Trust me. Trust me on that one, you will. I know that time heals is also equivalent to when someone says, oh, your time will come when it comes to love. Because it's like, well, bitch, when is it gonna happen? But if you continuously choose yourself, time will heal. You'll forget and you'll eventually look at it as a lesson and then you'll be ready for your next one. I'm hoping that because you've learned from this one, next time you're talking to someone, you're gonna be like, oh, well, I'm gonna ask him straight off the bat if he's interested or not without having put all of myself in. So take whatever you want from this conversation. Some of it might not be helpful. Some of it might be. If you guys have gone through similar things, I want to know what you guys did to cope through this and what you did to kind of remind yourself that you're a bad bitch and you can do whatever you want. Or if there is a possibility in trying again and maybe this time around he did end up falling for you. And this could be a he, she, vice versa. It can be anything you want. I just want to know your guys' story. Have you been through this? How did you cope with it? What is your advice for our girl who emailed us? If you guys are interested or if you have any stories or any advice, and it doesn't always have to be about love, it can be about school, it can be about friends, it can be about weight loss, it can be about anything really. If you want to write me, this is the email. I also have it down in the descriptions. If you guys have my old email, that is not in anymore. This is the new email. I got too many weird scam messages on there. So I switched it up. This is the new email just for you guys and I check it all the time. I get the notifications every time. I can do personal messages or I can do it on Tell Me More, however you guys like. I really hope that I was able to share some type of wisdom. If you didn't get anything from it, email me please. I would love to have a personal conversation with you, of course. If you guys liked today's story time, give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below any advice or anything you guys want to talk about. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!